Semangat ya kalian.
Welcome to the seventh episode. And this is the last episode of season one. Don't worry, we'll be back for more intriguing topics. I would like to ask you a question, even though I cannot directly hear your answer, but I just want to ask you this question. What was the first thing you did when you got up in the morning? Did you open your journal? Did you start writing things that you are grateful for? As so you know, after following all the episodes of Wisdom Within, I've started practicing gratitude. I slowly learned to unlearn things in life. And I try to be cool to myself, not to be hard on myself. And so I invite all viewers, please play back all the episodes of Wisdom Within. And I want you to discover it yourself, how to become mentally healthy. And if you are new to this channel, we create this show because we want to take a chance to shine a light on that of mental awareness, especially during these very unusual times. As each and every one of us, we are still continue coping up with COVID-19 pandemic. And this pandemic has had a widespread extreme effect on every society as a whole. So therefore, voicing out the importance of mental wellness has become our part to help others shape a strong mentality. And in each episode, we provide a series of intriguing topics to our viewers to resonate each case with their life experiences. We also invite guest speakers from different places to share their thoughts and ideas on the importance of being mentally healthy and stable. And from the beginning of our show, we made sure that we build value with the content that we were creating. And we also value our participation. You know, we value all the participants, we value all your participation for joining this program. So please use the chat features, the chat box, to share your comments and to ask questions to all the panelists. All right, without further ado, I would like to invite all the panel in. Let's meet all the panel of this show. Hi everyone, I can see Michelle is here. I can see Dr. Eileen is here, and also Beatrix and Kathleen. Thank you everyone for joining the 7th episode of Wisdom Within. I'm so thrilled to have you. Thank you for being with us. If you notice, in each episode of Wisdom Within, we invite young people to take part as the panelists because we want to instill in the minds of these young people to take part, to help their friends with mental health challenges, because it's clear enough that students sometimes they feel overwhelmed with schoolworks. So this episode, our young people or the internal speakers that we invite is Beatrix, Michelle, and Kathleen. I would like to introduce these young people to you, and I would like to ask Ma'am Eileen later on. Please introduce yourself to us after I introduce the young speakers here. Okay, here we have Beatrix. Beatrix, could you please wave your hand to our viewers? Okay, she is
Hello, all
Beatrix.
dear viewers.
Yeah, she's Beatrix. She's a sophomore. She's part of the Student Association Committee in the Faculty of Teacher Training and Educational Science. She currently lives in Batam. She loves to sing, and singing makes her joyful. So, in times of distress, she uses the talent to soothe herself. She also loves spending time reading comics online. We also have Michelle here. Michelle, could you please wave to our viewers? Okay, this is Michelle. She's part of Benefit of Milk Indonesia community as content writer. She's also the secretary at Lentera Muda Indonesia. And she's also the member of Asian Youth Advocates Network. We're so happy to have you here, Michelle. We also have Kathleen here, Kathleen Situmorang. She has the same passion as Beatrix, which is singing. She's a member of singing choir named Ansising Kantika. She has involved in different kinds of ministry. Okay, together with these young speakers, we have our special guest, Ma'am Gilni Rantung. For your information, she is an Australian certified mental health first aiders. Wow, we have such a great speaker in this show. Well, Ma'am Eileen, could you please introduce yourself to our viewers, because I don't have the rights to introduce such a great person like you.
Thank you, Debora. Hello, everyone. My name is Gilni Rantung. Some of my friends and students called me by my middle name, Eileen. I'm a lecturer at UNAI, Indonesia Adventist University, and I teach in the Faculty of Nursing. I'm married and blessed with 2 children, Gwen and Ray, both teen now. And yeah, 3 weeks ago, we've just arrived in Indonesia after living in Melbourne for about 4.5 years. I got the privilege to continue my study there and was sponsored by LPDP scholarship. And now I'm here to serve the country and to serve God as well.
Amen. Thank you, Ma'am Eileen, for your introduction. We cannot wait to listen to your talk. So once again, I'm so honored to have you all here in the 7th episode of Wisdom Within. We have 4 great women in the show. So to all our viewers, please stay tuned. Watch the show until the end. Okay, in this episode, we carry out an interesting topic: well-formed maturity, deprogram ourselves. Our panel is going to share with us how to deprogram ourselves. I would like to share a picture with you, okay? I would like you to take a look at this picture. I cannot share screen. Operator, please help me. Can I share screen? Okay. Wait, please bear with me. Okay, I would like to share with you this picture. I hope you can see my screen here. If you can see in the picture here, there are days, there are days that we are so overwhelmed with our work. We tend to sink into problems and we forgot how to establish a healthy mindset. And in this program, I would like you to have the new you. Yeah. Since this is the last episode of Wisdom Within, I would like to invite all the viewers, all the participants. I would like to start having a change of your mindset from being so stressful to being joyful. And this is what we're going to discuss with the panelists in today's episode. Okay, now I would like to invite Beatrix. We have discussed that sometimes life is unfair and we just have to accept that the world is unfair. Now, I would like you to bring up your perspective, your experience regarding pain as a pleasure in life. The time is yours, Beatrix.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Hello, all dear viewers. As we know, this program carries out a live needed theme. And if you watch all these episodes of Wisdom Within, I'm sure that you will discover outstanding topic about to keep your mental health. In my opinion, I feel so blessed to watch all these episodes of this show. And now, I wanted to ask a rhetorical questions to you. Is pain a pleasure? Sounds complicated but straightforward, right? I've been contemplating these questions and I would like to share the stories regarding these questions. Whenever I talk about pain, I never related this word pain to the pleasure. From the definition itself, there is no something that contain positivity or joy. We define the word pleasure like the something that produces happiness. So, what can be the deep interpretation behind these questions? I've been searching to find out the answers, and I realized that these questions, that this pain here talks about pain maturity, where human beings are required to learn from the mistakes, from the wound to be better off or mentally strong and healthy. And now, the question here, is it the pain for everyone to be felt, or is it people put themselves in pain? All people indeed have pain. But if we do not want to get hurt or any kind of pain. And now look around you. Have you ever seen those who are working hard with enthusiasm to provide and support their family, but they have to experience a bad luck in their life? Such as maybe they must fired by their superiors for no apparent reason, or they have to experience the bad luck, such as a tragedy that must happen in him. Sorry to say, disabled. This is a pain too. And on a deeper level, from another perspective, have you ever seen those who their loved ones left behind? Thought as profoundly as they felt their grief? Of course, this is a pain even intense. And now let's take something that commonplace. Indeed, we can see all those people like that felt these situations, or is it you? Left behind by their lovers one? Like the term of the young people nowadays, ghosting, friend zone, or whatever. So I can say this pain is considered to the pain. And So pain is like the hope. Pain is like the hope of ours that finally we disappointed about this. We tend to set these expectations too high, and then finally we fell too deep. How about this pandemic? There are many pain that we must felt. Like the latest news that we already heard about the Nanggala submarine. I'm not the one of their families, but when I look on the existing posts in my social media, my heart like broken into the pieces. I know how painful the loss is, and I didn't realize that my tears were falling. Many have been fired from their jobs and adding financial problems, and I'm the one of them. I cannot force my sister to pay my current tuition so that I can get exam card. All can I do is just pray to God, fasting, fasting, and fasting. Then, so until my auntie said to me that every time there is something that's stuck in her heart, she will tell to me that, Beatrix, please pray for me. However, praise God. God is so good. God makes all things beautiful in His time. In another case, actually I want to take psychology as my major, but I have to take a different major. And until the 3 semesters I passing through my campus life, I look around my campus and I wonder how can I be in this campus? But I just walk on and just say yes. I try to make my soul be still, like saying, Beatrix, do not regret your sister. Look another perspective. Sometimes we make some mistakes, and I have experience about this one. I ever have a relationship with someone that finally we breaking up. I don't know the reason why, and I don't want to know about that. On Saturday, my senior brother come unto me and said, Beatrix, I want to talk about something. He want to talk about what are the reason that makes that my ex should chosen that decision. And I tried to recall, and he said that I was too busy to do all my requirement. I tried to recall all the memories about him, about our relationships, and I realized that I was too busy to do all my requirements. I was joined choir organization that I have to prepare, that we have a preparation for the concert for 1 year. Even there is a holiday week, we will spend all the time for practice, and practice. So me and my boyfriend at the time do not have time for meet up. So even there is a day that our coach given to us, I just spend my time in my room for sleep and sleep. Then I was chosen to be the Sabbath school staff. I have to make a list for what I will do in this Sabbath day. And the sponsors make a call to me so that he wants to make sure that I already do all my requirements. I have to choose who will be the Sabbath school teachers on the Sabbath and who will be the participant. I have to get up all the Sabbath school teachers on the 5 a.m. to have a discussion in the library. So even all people say that Sabbath is the free time for us. But me and my boyfriend, it was not. And I'm the one of the student laborers too. So I had already said to you, even though there is a day for me, for a holiday, I will spend that time just in my room for sleep and sleep. Then, when I feel sad, I try to get up from my sadness by look from another perspective. And I realized and I found that I'm the lucky one that can continue my studies in the university. Meanwhile, others have a desires like me. I believe that God will provide. I believe that God shows me that he was not a good man for me because he was betrays me. He make a he built a new relationship a few weeks later. So I believe that God will provide the better man for me too, and I have to prepare myself too for the better person next time. I don't want to blaming others. I just want to correct myself first. You have to know this. There is no pain is pleasure. But if you just want to accept the good things in your life, in fact, life is not ours. Life is a mystery. If you just, if even though this life is so hard to passing through and challenging to enjoy, but in the end of that, it's all depend on our creature. Feeling pain is not the end of the world. If you just look at the negative side, you just imprisoning yourself in that want to be free and work. So, is it necessary for human beings to feel pain? Of course. We can feel grief and sorrow because of the pain itself. But what I want to emphasize is do not be too long or too deep. Instead of you choosing to close yourself off and you become traumatized to meet a new people, what's the impact? You just shut yourself off. You just shut yourself up in the fear, and then you force your will. Who knows what God's purpose is more beautiful? Is pain pleasure? Pain is okay. But when you can make peace with the pain itself and change your point of view, that is the point. You can prepare yourself. Your character is more mature. Just look from another perspective, point of view, and look at the positive side and draw the lesson. And you will realize that this is the big chance that you have to become the better person and even successful in the future. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Beatrix, for sharing with us. Well, I understand that seeing pain as a pleasure can be an understatement. I know it takes time to reach this kind of healthy habit, healthy belief, I mean. So once again, thank you, Beatrix. Now I would like to proceed to Michelle. I would like you to share your experience, how you become delightful or how you stay delightful in times of trouble.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity to share my experience in Wisdom Within. Beatrix has talked about how pain can lead us to mental illness, and young people feel challenges of building an agile mindset because they tend to radiate negativity. The central theme of Wisdom Within is about mental wellness. Young people who are invited to this program has shared their experience regarding how to be mentally healthy. After watching several episodes of Wisdom Within, I realized that keeping our minds healthy is essential, and we should be aware of this thing. Our mental health matters the most because it can somehow impact to our social life. When people become mental ill, they might have different way of thinking. So, integrity is important. And one of the powerful things in young person life is honesty, especially when we make some mistake. It takes a lot of self-reflection to be honest with yourself and the other people around you when things are not going so well. But radically, honesty can become so stressful in life. Being honest immediately before others have to chance to tell you what's wrong can even be rewarding. I want to share my experience, and it happened in my academic life. As a student, I have always faced the choice between cheating or staying honest in taking quizzes and exams. If I do not cheat, I get a low score. Until one time, I had an exam. I said in my mind I didn't want to cheat. When the result came out, I was disappointed with my score. I should have cheated. Sometimes being honest doesn't make me happy. What I want is, after being honest, I want to have a good score. Anyhow, I realize that's not how it's supposed to be. I feel like I have to be rewarded after doing something good. This is already a wrong mindset. It may lead to disappointment, remorse, and self-hatred. In the end, I will not be mentally stable. Another challenging part of being honest is when I get something that I don't want and when some friends will stay away because I'm honest. Why do I choose to be real? Simple. I just want to build my integrity. As said before, integrity is essential part of the life of a young person. And as a young person, I can start to build my integrity by being honest. Nevertheless, it's not easy to set my goal in my life. I have faced so many challenges to building my character. I get so many problems, and sometimes when I face the problem, I get stressed because I feel like I can solve the problem well. I feel like I need to give up. I want to escape from this world. But even though being honest seems so scary and can shake our world, it is better than dishonesty. As Michael Josephson stated, honesty doesn't always pay, but dishonesty always costs. I'm sure that all of us also have this feeling when we face the problem. We think we should escape from this situation. When I try to escape from difficult situation, I don't get any solution to my problem. I'm actually delaying my problem and I will find a similar problem in the future. But as a human, we cannot always run from our problem because we can never avoid any difficulties in the future. I'd like to share another story of my life. When I graduated from high school, I lost my loved one without saying goodbye in a good way. Honestly, I really love that figure, but sometimes I felt angry because he chose to let go of his family. I have no idea why he did that. Until one day, he passed away, but I never had the chance to say, I love you, Dad, because it was too late. But that was the reason I chose to ignore my dad. I was deeply disappointed with myself. As a child without a father, I tend to get jealous to the other people who still have complete family. Having their dad beside them, I really need that figure. Sometimes this thought of wishing to have complete family stress me out. There were days I planned to end my life, but I failed to do that. I fight my battle once. I act as I'm okay in which, but I'm not okay inside. People in my surrounding think I'm fine, a person without a problem, but they don't know that I cover all it up. Whereas deep in my heart, I feel alone and hurt. I know this is a part of the life process, but as time goes by, I probably will be more resilient in facing hardship. To look fine in every situation isn't easy, but this is life. If your problem is not going so well, trying to be delightful to reduce your pain. what will happen, and realize we have to move forward even though that's feeling hurting. It is a process, and a process never going easy. To look delightful doesn't mean we are just accepting the unfair situation, but we will learn how to handle our problem and be grateful to our concern. Why? When we live our life, we know to react how many reasons to make us thankful. To be delightful under challenging situation might be difficult because we tend to sad and to angry with our situation. Everything going so overwhelmed. But when I try to delightful in bad situation, the situation aren't look so bad and just not that. But I can think clearly and be wisely when I face the problem. Then I set in my mind to accept the problem that I have faced as the thing to make me stronger. So we need to be happy in every situation. How can I be comfortable in bad condition? I learned to not compare myself with others. One day, I have read a quote from the title from the book. The title is "The Hector and the Search of Happiness." That book said, "Making comparison can ruin happiness." So that's why we should be happy. We need to make less of comparing ourselves with others. And when I set in my mind to not compare myself with others, it works. I can be happy. You should know there is a definite connection between delightful and mental health. It is easy to see how happiness and mental health are linked, as happier people are healthier, have strong marriage, make friends more quickly, and achieve tremendous success in life. The origins of happiness are the same one that provide people with shield or safety for mental illness, which explain why the two have such a close relationship. Whenever I feel unhappy, whenever I face a problem, I will get very overwhelmed. I think I have no reason to live, and I start to complaining to the others around me. In the end, the other people will stay away from me. So being delightful when you have problem is essential. Keep in mind when we are not delighted with the issue we have, will not finish anything. Try to accept anything thought or situation in a better way. If positive, accept that for a spirit for life, but if negative, accept it to get more stronger. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle, for sharing with us your stories. Well, being delightful in times of trouble is not easy. It might be very difficult for us. But once we reach that level, we can shine light. We can shine light on every people's life. Okay, thank you. Next, I would like to invite Kathleen to share her story. Michelle touched a topic regarding integrity. So, Kathleen, could you please share with us your story? Why do you think integrity has to be part of young people's character?
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, everyone, Beatrix and Michelle has explained to us, has given experience about pain. Now, I want to share my experience too about pain. Where my family has differences. My family is having financial difficulties. And my father's brother can be said to be like rich. They have much money. In terms of money, they differentiate me and my family. In South, my family, I am very hard when my family is treated like that, and I always ask why we have difference about financial matters, why they have difference, my family and them. But we as a family, why we have a difference It's very hard to me, but it's okay. I must accept the fact. Okay, everyone. I want to share to you the three characteristics of millennial. The first is we as young people do not get hurt easily. When we are hard insulted, wounded, tested, don't take it too quickly. You must think, I don't care about it. I don't care what them said about me, right? So we have God. God has created us so perfectly. Why we always think what the others say about us? The second is too easily offended. So we feel very hard or suffering. The third is sometimes it's people who make them feel pain. Okay, you know, guys, during this pandemic, many millennial children commit suicide due to the many attacks of their teachers. They are too stressed about the text without trying to answer it. They always think it's very hard. I cannot answer it, right? But you know, from this, they are not ready to accept other life challenges, such as people trying to survive life. Some even cannot go to school because they not have money. But today's millennial children even want to commit suicide and always blame everything that has nothing to do with it. But it's not just only story, but me too. When I have not been able to have a character that is ready to face all the challenges that exist. I feel that when I was in college, I always I was always afraid of the lessons. I will face the things my lecturer did to change the way my learning was better. But I always afraid about it. I think I cannot do it. But if my lecturer asked it, sorry, I mean, but to my mind, that's a big thing for me to deal with. When my lecturer want the better of me, I always think it's very difficult. About integrity, now we move the title. Integrity is the quality of having strong ethical or moral principles and following them at all times. Integrity is very important in our life. We must know what's the point if we do the integrity in our life, right? It's not just only we do and then we not care about it, but you must know that integrity is very important in our life. I'm a person who does not like to arrive late. And during this lecture, many of my friends had reasons when the lecturer had questions. The reason he will convey include blackout. They always have a reason about the connection, poor connection. Why they do this? Because they afraid cannot answer what lecturer asks to them. But you know, I did not do this. But if my lecturer asks me, I always try to answer, even though I don't know. I always try it. If my answer is wrong, I think my lecturer can say to me what the truth of questions, right? So why we afraid? Why we have give the reason we have a correction? Why? I think we must improve ourselves. We must have integrity in our life. We as a millennial generation must have integrity in our life. Remember, we must know what benefits we get when we have integrity in our life. We must enjoy the existing process. Enjoy the process, especially the millennial generation. Don't think that the text is difficult. Don't think your lecturer will ask you difficult questions, but try to find what benefits you get when you have integrity in your life so that you get the best. So integrity is very important to us. Like I said, to millennial, because the millennial in the generation, they always have a reason, especially when we have a class on online class, I mean, right? They afraid, but I think they not study as well in their home. So we need integrity in our life. I think that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kathleen. Thank you for being vulnerable with us. And I like the way you emphasize the importance of having integrity as part of our personal trait. Well, that's right. Shaping good habits is utterly a challenge for us. Okay, all these young people, they have shared their experience, their story, their struggles about how to see pain as a pleasure, about how to always be delightful in times of trouble, and how to shape good habits as part of our personal traits. But all of those things takes a process. And now we are going to listen, from our guest speaker, how to deprogram ourselves, how to become the new us. So here's the moment that we've been waiting for. Ma'am Eileen is going to share with us her talk about how to deprogram ourselves. The time is yours, Ma'am Eileen.
Okay, give me a second. Okay. Hi, everyone. Again, thank you for having me here. I'm more than happy to be part of this event, and it is a privilege and an honor for me to share some thoughts and perspectives, particularly in regards to self-growth and mental health. The present today entitled Power of Gentle Persuasion, How to Deprogram Ourselves. Thank you, Debora, for giving me such an interesting topic to talk to. However, I have to admit, this is a disclaimer that this is not my strength, not my strength yet, and not my area of expertise. And I'm still learning to be able to have the power of gentle persuasion. So when you think about persuasion, what comes to mind? Some people might think of advertising messages that urge viewers to buy a particular product, while others might think of a political candidate trying to sway voters to choose his or her name on the ballot box. Persuasion often seen from a negative point of view, but persuasion is actually a powerful force in daily life and has a major influence on society, on your career, and on yourself as a whole. So let's see, what does persuasion means by definition? Persuasion can be either the act of persuading someone to do something or to believe that something is true, or it can be a particular belief or set of beliefs. Many people know about it, but not everyone is able to use it to its full capacity. And today we are going to explore and use this notion of persuasion from these two standpoints. So marketing science often talked about the physiology of persuasion. Our brain is divided into two, primal brain and rational brain. This is according to them, yeah. So each plays a different role in the decision-making process. And you will come to appreciate that our primal brain is the key to your persuasion efforts. Daniel Kahneman, a psychologist and a world-renowned economy Nobel Prize winner, talks about these two brains as system 1 and system 2. On the evolutionary scale, our rational brain is the most recent part of the brain. It deals with high-level cognitive functions such as language, judgment, abstract, and complex thoughts. It makes us uniquely smart compared to other living organisms. Deeper inside, we also have a primal brain composed of the reptilian complex and middle brain. Primal brain is responsible for survival, for drive and motivation, and instinct. So let's see the difference between those two brains. The primal brain is fast but limited, but by contrast, the rational brain is slow but smart. Your rational brain can think about the past and plan for the future when your primal brain only lives in the present. Your rational brain is often looking for novelty, whereas your primal brain is always looking for familiarity. Why? Because if something is familiar, you'll have a sense of safety and it will not jeopardize your survival. And then your rational brain requires conscious thinking, like the concentration needed to solve complex mathematical problems. And your primal brain is really your automatic brain that helps you to breathe, to digest, or even to keep your balance. Primal brain is always on. It never goes to sleep. Most people have some level of control over their rational brain, but the primal brain, in contrast, can hardly be controlled. And that's why even if you tell people don't panic and they see smoke coming from under the door, they'll rush to exit. Researchers describe persuasion as a bottom-up effect. Persuasion starts in the primal brain before it's radiating to the rational brain. So the positive conclusion that Kahneman and other researchers have reached is that the primal brain really drives persuasion. Instead of being directed by our smart rational brains, we humans tend to be directed by our primal brains. And therefore, to be persuasive, you must target the primal brain of the person. Okay, so how to trigger the primal brain? First, you have to make your message personal. Think of the primal brain as the center of me. It has no passions or empathy for anything that does not immediately concern its well-being. It scans for the threats before it attends to pleasure. Vigilance drives the speed and nature of its response. Next, make your argument contrastable. The primal brain is sensitive to solid contrast such as before or after, risky or safe, with or without, and slow or fast. Contrast allows quick, risk-free decision. Without contrast, the brain enters a state of confusion, which delays a decision, or worse, it will stall a decision altogether. Make your proofs tangible. The primal brain needs tangible input. It is constantly looking for what is familiar and friendly, what can be recognized quickly, what concrete and immutable. The primal brain cannot process complexity without a lot of effort and skepticism. It appreciates simple, easy to grasp, concrete ideas. Make your story memorable. The primal brain remembers little. Placing the most important content at the beginning is a must, and repeating it at the end is imperative. Keep in mind that what you say in the middle of your delivery should be brief and convincing. Make your points visual. The primal brain default sensory channel is visual. The optical nerve is physically connected to the primal brain and at least 25 times faster than the auditory nerve. Therefore, the visual channel provides a fast and effective connection to accelerate decisions. No other sense is more dominant than the visual sense. It is the superhighway of your messages. And the last one is make your impact emotional. The primal brain is strongly triggered by your emotion or by emotions. So emotions create chemical events in your brain that directly impact the way you process and memorize information. The primal brain can also stimulate it by coercive approaches and by gentle approaches or persuasion. Coercive persuasion refers to the way in which we socially construct discursive systems of constraint that are difficult to challenge and resist. Simply put, it influencing someone through the use of force. This type of persuasion is stronger and invasive. Terrorist organizations and kidnappers, among others, use this type of persuasion. However, this is often occurred in the workplace too, between boss and employee, in school, between senior and junior, social community, among friends, marriage couples, husband and wife, and many more. Alternatively, gentle persuasion is how people get the things they want without coming off as demanding, needy, or self-centered. And this can be done if they like and trust you. You can easily persuade people if they like and they trust you. Which one is more effective, by force or by gentle approach? I'm not sure whether you are familiar with this Aesop fable. So there was once an argument between the wind and the sun about who was stronger than the other. They argued for a long time, but neither of them emerged the winner. It wasn't too long before they spotted a man walking on the road. Looking at the man wearing a coat, an idea struck them both. They challenged each other. Then the one who succeeded in removing the coat from the man's back was the strongest. The wind volunteered to try first. It began to blow hard, raising gusts of air and making it harder for the man to take a step further. But the man clutched his coat tight around him and resumed walking with great difficulty. The wind continued blowing harder and harder, but the man held on his coat tighter and tighter and continued his journey forward. Finally, the wind was exhausted and gave up. His effort had been worthless. It was now the turn of the sun. He looked at the man and began to gently shine upon the path the man was walking on. The man looked up at the sky, surprised at the change in weather. The sun did not spend much energy, neither did he apply any effort. He just continued shining upon the man's head gently. And soon, the man was huffing and puffing and sweating profusely, unable to bear the rising heat. The man finally took off his coat and headed to a nearby tree to rest for a while under its shade. The moral of the fable, The Wind and the Sun, says that persuasion is better than force, and a kind and a gentle manner will get quickly and sustainable result than threats. What approach does the Bible recommend? Force or gentleness? As human, we're basically self-centered and pushy. And what the Bible says. So let's read first and listen to Paul describe to those who qualify for Christian leadership. 1 Timothy 3, 2, 3, and 7. Now the overseer is to be above reproach, faithful to his wife, temperate, self-controlled, respectable, hospitable, able to teach, not given to drunkenness, not violent, but gentle, not quarrelsome, not a lover of money. He must also have a good reputation with outsiders so that he will not fall into disgrace and into the devil's trap. Notice some other references to the quality of gentleness. Ephesians 4 verse 2. Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love. Take Jesus as our role model. Matthew 11 verse 29. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. We can find the promise also in Matthew 5 verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. How to deprogram ourselves to have the power of gentle persuasions. Have the traits of the most effective persuasive people. First, you have to be disciplined. Have empathy. Be self-assured. Have a burning desire to succeed. Have ability to do what they feel most. Be enthusiastic. Be sincere in caring others. Not taking rejection personally. Be willing to invest in self-education. All of this will empower you, but most importantly, because we're basically self-centered, we're basically selfish and pushy, therefore, seek God's help. Ask Him the best out of you and to develop a well-formed maturity in you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Eileen. You know what? You're transporting us into the outstanding work of the primal brain. Now, we truly enjoy listening to your talk. Now, I personally understand why there are things that are hard to control. And if I have to give conclusion of what you have stated, I think to have a successful deprogramming is to give up bad habits, no matter how small they are, because we need to have more good habits, such as being kind, being humble, be gentle, be passionate, because all those good habits will help us establish a robust mentality, a strong mentality. Okay, thank you so much. I truly enjoy knowing how brain works. Thank you. Now I would like to invite again all the panel in, all the speakers in. We will come up with a discussion. Okay. So, Ma'am Eileen, if you are new to this show, we receive recordings from our viewers, and we are going to play the recording. Yes, of course, young people's problem. We are going to play the recording, and the person who sent the recording is going to share her or his problem to us, and we are going to give advice regarding related to the topic about deprogramming. Okay, operator, could you please play the recording, the first recording?
I made a mistake, which was never serious about studying in high school. Therefore, when the announcements to enter public universities was announced, I was either not admitted or accepted. I feel very sad and also jealous of my friends who get this route. I also feel disappointed with what I did before. where I could not be serious in studying but also feel sad because I did not accept it and still blame myself. From this case, what should I do to receive what I should receive?
Okay, so the sender, it's about, I think the sender sends about her bad habits, being jealous with other friends, being sad, and how to accept. Yeah, it's I think acceptance issue. Okay, I would like to ask all the panel, what would be the best advice for this situation? I think I would like to start from Ma'am Eileen. Do you want me to play again the recording, or is it clear enough?
I think I've got some of the highlights.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
actually, there's only one answer to that. I think I only have one recommendation for that. So this is about acceptance issues, right? The thing is that we have to believe, because we are a Christians, we have to believe that God has good plans for us. If the viewers, the one who did the recording, if she doesn't get acceptance from the school, something like that, she has to believe that there's a good plan, and God has a good plan for her. So keep trying and don't be discouraged. Keep on trying, and you will see that there will be, a bright future over there for her.
Okay, thank you. I think I would like to ask advice from the young people. I think you experience this kind of situation, right? Jealousy, acceptance, not being good like others. What would be the advice for this sender? Beatrix first.
Thank you so much for this question. This case is so related to me. I had already said to you that I really want to take the psychology as my major, but what I have to remember is just I set on my mind that we don't have to force our will. So I just look another perspective that I'm the lucky one that can continue my studies in the university, even though it's not the university that I want. So I just accept it, and I try God. I pray to God that God please makes me more strong, and I believe that you has a good plan for me, even though I don't take a studies in that university that I want. Thank you.
How about you, Michelle? Thank you, Beatrix. Michelle?
Okay, sure, I have related this experience too, but it is because I'm too much comparing myself with the other. So I try to not comparing myself with the others, and it really works for me, because when I less comparing myself with the other, I can be happy and I can accept any problems that I have.
Yeah. Stop comparing. Okay, Kathleen?
Okay. I think when we have any problem, why we always afraid and why we always jealous to one another, we have a God. God know what is good playing to us. We must. I think when I have a problem, when I jealous to my friend, I always talk to God. I pray to God. God, I know I'm not a good person, but please help me how to not jealous to my friend, how to improve myself. I think when I told to God, God have a good plan to me.
Thank you for such a very good advice. I know we all can relate with the person's issue, yeah, the person's life issue. Sometimes we deal with jealousy, we deal with acceptance issue, and all the advice that you have shared with our viewers. I think those are the best advice, and I hope the person who sent the recording will be satisfied with all our advice. Okay, we're going to play the second recording. Could you please play, operator, the second recording, please?
One day, my boyfriend asked me to accompany him in an ATM because he wants to change his ATM's PIN code. So we go to the nearest ATM. There, we waited in line because someone was using it. Our turn arrived, but not so long. I saw the money came out in the machine. I hurriedly called the one who used the machine before us. But she accused me of going to collect that money. I have being honest, but why the other can't accept my honesty? One
Is it done? Could you please play once more?
One day, my boyfriend asked me to accompany him in an ATM because he wants to change his ATM's PIN code. So we go to the nearest ATM. There, we waited in line because someone was using it. Our turn arrived, but not so long. I saw the money came out in the machine. I hurriedly called the one who used the machine before us. But she accused me of going to collect that money. I have being honest, but why the other can't accept my honesty?
Okay, it's about, I think the person is trying to be honest, but her friend doesn't believe about the honesty. I think I cannot really clear the recording. I think it's about honesty, if I'm not mistaken. She's being honest. She's trying to tell the person that she's honest. She's not trying to get the money, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, yeah, sometimes it happens. Yeah, sometimes it happens, especially for college students. Sometimes you receive your lecturer's speculations, judgment, or assumptions about you, because sometimes your teacher might consider that you're cheating in the class, but you're trying to prove that you're not cheating. You're trying to prove that you're honest in taking the examination. So what would be the best advice when you are trying to prove to others that you're not doing it, but no one listens? I think that's the case. No one listens. It's really difficult. I think it's the most difficult moment for us when we are not listened, when we're not listened by others. Okay, Ma'am Eileen.
I think as long as you have faith in yourself, and as long as you know that you do the right things, you have to stand for it. You have to self-assure yourself that you did the right things, and no one can change you. So be firm, and yeah, as long as you do the right things, be courageous.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Just stay firm with what you believe. Okay. Michelle, have you ever had this kind of experience? Like no one listened?
Yes, ma'am. I just think, we cannot control the others, but we cannot control ourselves.
Yeah.
Just staying positive because we cannot change the other perspective and the other's opinion about myself or about myself. So just staying positive, and if you're right, just stand with their behaviors.
Okay, thank you. Kathleen, you have something to say?
Yeah, I think don't be afraid to remain determined to keep doing the right thing because we ourselves already know what we are doing. And then you must remember, God know what you do. Don't afraid. If you're wrong, yeah, you can say it, you're wrong. If you're right, don't afraid what others say about you.
Beatrix, you have something to say?
Yes. I just want to emphasize what Michelle had already stated. We cannot control others because we just have two hands, but we cannot close all the mouths that all people's what talks about you. You just have two hands and close your ears. Stop to hear, to listen to what others people talks about you. It's okay to cry. It's just your emotions, but remember, you just do the right things in your life. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for answering, giving advice to our viewers. Now I receive questions from the chat box. Okay, the first question, I think it's intended for Ma'am Eileen. I'll just try to rephrase because it's quite difficult to just read the questions. I'm going to rephrase the question. It states here, is it okay to be angry and disappointed to God when we have serious problems? Because when we are angry or when we are disappointed, it seems that we are not yet mature and we are not mentally healthy. I think this is the question. I'm just trying to rephrase. Is it okay to be angry and disappointed to God? Is this an indication that we are not yet mature and mentally healthy?
Angry and disappointed is our nature as a human. We often feel disappointed toward things that we didn't expect to happen in our lives. Does it mean that we cannot be angry? Yes, we can, because it's a natural, it's also a healthy way to express ourselves. We sometimes need to be angry, but when we are angry, we need to know what are our limitations, what can be done to express our feelings. Yeah, so we need to be wise to express our feelings when we are not, when we are angry or when we are disappointed. So when the question is about maturity, people who are well mature, they usually can manage their expression. Even if they're angry, if they are disappointed, they can manage it and express it in a good way. So angry is still a normal stage of emotions that humans has, but yeah, we have to manage it wisely.
Thank you. Thank you for such a wonderful answer for that. Yes, it's true what you have just stated. Okay, another question. I think this is intended for Michelle, for you. Why is it so hard to be ourselves, to be real, to be our real self? Thank you.
Okay. I think why we feel so hard to being ourselves is it because we constantly thinking about what the others think of you, and we afraid to act the real you. You'll be afraid the other will judge you, and you do not stop comparing yourself with the others. I think that reason we cannot be real.
Thank you. Sometimes it's very difficult to be ourselves. Yeah, we just want to be like others. That's the reason why I I deactivated all my social media accounts. I was once friends with Ma'am Eileen. Yeah, we were friends in Instagram, but now it's been almost 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I deactivated, and it's such a healthy mind for me not having social media because I stopped comparing my life with other people. Yes, sometimes it's really difficult. Yeah, for young people out there, for all the viewers, uh, to be a real self because of what is being presented by the world nowadays. Okay, the next questions I receive from the viewer, it is for Beatrix. How to overcome a big crisis in life? It's for you, Beatrix. How to overcome a big crisis in life?
Could you please repeat, ma'am?
How to overcome a big crisis in life, big problem in life, you know, when you have big problem.
Okay, thank you. How can we overcome our big problem in this world? There are many problems that we must face in this world. Sometimes we thought that how can this problem should happen in our life, and you think that others don't have these problems too. So how can we uh, overcome this one? We just look from the positive side. Maybe it's so hard to take this positive side. You maybe when you try to share your problems to your friends and say that, and your friends said just be patient. Just be patient is so hard for us, but one thing that we should set in our mind, just God's allows the problems in your life. Just it means that God chosen you to be the strong person next day.
Yeah.
So we don't have to understand all problems that why it should be happen in your life. You just walk and just say yes. Uh, I uh, I believe that God will strengthen me as the weaknesses person in this world. But without God's besides me, I will not. I cannot passing through my life. So we have to surrender all to Jesus too, to God too. I mean, so that's it. You just surrender and look from the positive sides.
Yes. Being submissive to God is, I think, the best solution for everyone who is uh, facing difficult challenge or big crisis in life. I know it sounds so cliche, but well, that's the real thing. Yeah, being submissive to God, I think that's the best solution. Thank you for your answer, Beatrix. Okay, I received more questions here for Ma'am Eileen. I think this is something related with the brain, Ma'am Eileen. Yeah, I don't know. Why is it so? Why people, I think why people, they really enjoy seeing bad things about others. You know, they tend to just focus their mind to see bad things about others. Is it because how we control our brain, how we manage our brain? Like people tend to enjoy seeing bad things about others.
Um, I remember I read a journal about how people see others, about how people making perspectives about others. And the journal said that, I don't remember the percentage, but those who are looking into the negative look of a person is higher than those who see others positively. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's because of I don't think it's because of the brain, but I think it's because of the scene, actually. It's because of the scene. And how, the evil thinking, the jealousy is often, coming up from ourselves and wanted to, to see others feelings bad, or I mean, we sometimes doesn't like to see others happy. Yeah, some people doesn't like to see others people happy. And yeah, I think it's often happened, but it doesn't relate it to the function of the brain. I think it's more spiritual things, I think.
Yes, you're right. Thank you for the answer. Okay, next question. This intended for all the speakers, I think, I guess. How to forget or move on from all the mistakes that we have done, because sometimes we are stuck in the past because of a problem. How to move forward, how to let go ourselves from the past. Okay, before that, I would like to start from young people. Before Ma'am Eileen prepares her answer for this, I think young people, yeah, we are, the two of us, we're older than you. We experience those kind of things in our teenage life. Now, for you, what is your advice for all the viewers here to forget and move forward with our life? I would like to start with Beatrix.
Thank you. It's so hard for us to keep moving on, especially in problems. So one thing I just want to one thing that I can advise you is just keep yourself busy. You just have to moving on. Do not stuck in that. Do not stuck in that problem. What's the benefit when you just stuck when you just stuck in that position? There is no benefit of that, right? So try to find another busy things, make yourself more busy, so that step by step you will forget about that problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Be busy with our life. Okay, Michelle?
I think if I am in that condition, I will trying to forgive, even if it spend more time, but I will trying to forgive. Is it because when we are forgot, when we are trying to remind it, I will hit again? And I just want to say, start with a small step, because it getting so overwhelmed when we are trying with a large step, just trying with a small step.
Oh, I like that question. I like that answers. Start with a small step because it takes process, yeah, to move on, to move forward. Kathleen?
Okay. My way to forget the problem is I always sing. If it's very difficult. I pray to God and do a lot of work so that I can forget about the problem. Thank you.
Oh, you're very lucky that you have the talent to sing. Okay, Ma'am Eileen. So what is your answer, ma'am?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I really like Michelle's answer. So she's very wise, and I don't know, maybe she's have good knowledge about this. So I have three points here that I want to highlight. If we want to forget and move forward, first, I agree with Michelle, we have to forgive. We have to forgive. And then we have to have faith, the second one. And then we have to be positive. I think these three key points is important for us to move forward and let go things behind.
Yeah. Okay. So young people, remember those three key points. Okay. This is the last questions. Okay. And it's about mind. So I think, Ma'am Eileen, I think this question is for you. So this is our last question, by the way. So it says here, I'm going to rephrase the questions. How to control my mind not to say bad things when I'm angry. How to control my mouth, my mouth not to say bad word or bad things when I am angry.
Yeah, there's a way called self-persuasion. You have to persuade yourself to not to do those bad things. You have to doctrinize yourself that it is not good for you and it's not good for others who hear that as well. So self-persuasion is important, and you also need to have a knowledge and understandings about how people can react towards your approaches, your bad approaches. You also, from that experience, you will get, maturity on how to respond to, a situation, and therefore you will not use bad languages or bad words to other people's. Yeah.
All right. Thank you for the answers, Ma'am Eileen. Well, this is the end of our discussion and our Q&A. Thank you for such a stimulating discussion. So I would like to invite the operator. Could you please share the certificate? We are going to hand in the certificate for our guest speaker, Ma'am Gilny Rantung. Okay, ma'am, we are so blessed to have you here in this last episode of Wisdom Within. This is the 7th episode of Wisdom Within, and we are so lucky to have you here because of your such stimulating talk. We would like to hand this virtually, this certificate virtually. With deep gratitude, this certificate is proudly awarded to Gilny Rantung, PhD, for giving an enlightening and insightful talk as a guest speaker during Wisdom Within program. We are forever grateful for your tremendous support to inspire young people to value their mental wellness. I hope you receive this with your warm heart. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you, Debora.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. We have come to the end of our show. I would like to invite all the panel to give the closing statement to our viewers. Beatrix, could you please give your closing statement to our viewers?
Okay. If God allows many problems happen in your life, it means that God chosen you to be a strong person someday. Even the tears that people say are weaknesses are your strengths. Just go through it, and because it is must go to through the process. If you fall, get up again. Remember which road you fell and chose which way it's safe, and never forget that way. Thank you.
Michelle?
Okay, I just wanna give a little reminder for all of you. Our life is never going so well, so let's start to delightful in every hard situation, because it is not only treat yourself, but it treat the others too. So be delightful.
Kathleen?
Okay, so you must have integrity in your life. Learn to mature so that your future is well shared. Thank you.
Ma'am Eileen, could you give us your closing statement?
There's a saying that maturity doesn't mean age. It means sensitivity, manners, and how you react. To have a well-formed maturity is not easy. You need extra effort to reach that level. You need experience to know how to act and react wisely and gently. And you need knowledge to be able to cope adaptively.
Thank you. So, well, I really like how Ma'am Eileen stated this statement, and I would like to repeat this for all the viewers. Gentle manner gets sustainable results. So let's build good habits in our life, yeah, and get rid of bad habits so that we can establish a very strong mentality. So once again, to all the panel, I would like to say thank you for your time and effort that you volunteer, that you contribute to this show. I believe that probably there is at least 1% of our viewers can benefit from this show. And I hope that everyone will be enjoyable in watching all the episodes of Wisdom Within. You can have the playback because it's always in this channel. You can start playing all from episode 1 to episode 7. All the guest speakers, all young people, they have such outstanding talk about mental wellness. So I wish you all the best to all the speakers here today. Stay healthy. Yeah. Stay healthy and blessed. And also to our viewers, stay healthy. And I wish you the best life I wish you the best life that you could ever have. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and like this channel. See you again in the second season of Wisdom Within. Bye, everyone. Bye. Okay, so Ma'am Eileen has left.
Bersama memberi arti hidup, pengalaman belajar yang berbeda yang menguatkan Anda dalam masyarakat. Di sini bersama kita belajar dari sahabat, teman, dan pengajar dan tumbuh bersama untuk masa depan kita. Bersama kita dilatih menjadi seorang yang mandiri, mampu berusaha dalam segala kondisi. Bersama membangun jiwa, raga, dan mental. Aktivitas yang mengembangkan pikiran dan fisik Anda akan nikmati di sini. Udara yang segar, suasana yang damai, lingkungan yang bersih, kehidupan yang teratur. Bersama kita rasakan. Bersama di sini kita membangun sesuatu yang besar dari diri kita sendiri. Persaudaraan, teman-teman yang baik, mengekspresikan diri kita. Kerja keras dengan keceriaan dan doa. Mungkin Anda bisa pergi kuliah di mana saja, tapi di sini bersama kami Anda akan mendapatkan pengalaman yang berbeda dalam pendidikan. Universitas Advent Indonesia.